What's up, everybody? Garrett back here, and I want to talk about MVD Rewind's newest Blu-ray for Disturbing Behavior. So Disturbing Behavior is like a post-Scream kind of teen sci-fi / horror movie that came out in 1998. And man, I remember when this came out, it was a pretty big hit like around myself and my friends. I don't think it did that well. I think it kind of fell under the radar with most people, but it was something I remember buying on VHS. I have the DVD. This did come out from Scream Factory, which is long out of print now. So anybody who does not have that edition, you can now snag it in this awesome release by MVD. So they obviously got the rights to this, re-released it on a Blu-ray under their Rewind series, which is really cool. With this, you do get a slip cover, a limited slip cover here. You know how they roll. Inside, you get the disc, and it comes with a fold-out poster. Let me see if it's double-sided. Nope, single-sided poster. Of the cover art there, of the movie poster, but it does have reversible cover art here as well that you get with the Blu-ray. I actually like the original artwork best. But if you guys haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend it. It's a real cool movie. It reminds me a lot of like The Faculty that came out around that time. It was, like I said, post-Scream, like horror movies where they had like a big teen cast. Like look at this cast here. You've got James Marsden, who you guys know from like X-Men. He was actually in the new Sonic movies as well. Katie Holmes, which you all know from Dawson's Creek. Nick Stahl, who you remember, I remember him from, I think he was John Connor and one of the Terminators, Terminator 3, I think it was. And Catherine Isabel is in this from Ginger Snaps. You also got Ethan Embry making an appearance in here. So really cool movie. What's funny to me is I always think of this as like Varsity Blues meets The Faculty or something like that. Like you've got your town, it's got the jocks, the football players. They're called the Blue Ribbon Club. They're like the high-class preppy kids, and you know, something's just not right with them. And you've got James Marsden, who's kind of like a new kid in town. And he kind of starts hanging out with the outsiders, like the Katie Holmes and Nick Stahl characters there. And they suspect a lot's going on with these kids besides just them acting like jerks. So they kind of investigate, and things just kind of hit the fan from there. So real cool movie that I've kind of had in my collection of many formats for many years. It was definitely an underrated gem for me. So when MVD announced they were doing this edition, I'm definitely glad I got my hands on it because I just dig this movie oh so much. Now, what's funny is when I first saw this movie, I kind of felt like, oh, this kind of reminds me, or has a very similar style, that late 90s, like X-Files feel, almost like an extended version of X-Files with these kids. And come to find out, this was actually directed by the same person who did direct X-Files, David Nutter. And I think he brings that same feel to the screen here. Now, it's not a movie that people talk about often, but I think the ones that have seen it really, really like this. I don't really hear much negativity brought up when it comes to this movie. Now, not only do you get an all-star cast that was really big in the 90s, really big 90s feel in this movie, but the music in here is great as well. A lot of hits, a lot of those 90s bangers that we remember as kids, that a lot of these kind of teen horror movies were using back in the day, you get a lot of them in here. Now, interesting fact about this movie is it actually went through a lot of changes before it actually went theatrical. David Nutter had a different version, his director's cut, with a lot more horror elements to it, but for whatever reason, the studio made him change it. So we've never got to see that director's cut version, which I hope someday we do. But with this, you do get a ton of deleted scenes. You get alternate ending here on the special features. You get a commentary by David Nutter. And if you want to be perfect, go pick up this newest Blu-ray of Disturbing Behavior from MVD Rewind. It's fantastic. And this is Garrett at Born to Be Rad. And like always, stay rad.